Okay, so the only place that you can sort of progress the fight to from mount is arguably the back. In competition, taking mount or taking the back are going to both get you 4 points, and so in their point system, they're considered the same level. I would argue the back is probably a bit more dominant because you can't really effectively strike. You can't really effectively strike from bottom out either, but at least they're in front of you, and so I think that's more effective than trying to hit behind your head. So back mount, somebody's got you there, it's not good. So a few things that I'm going to look at. Again, if you go ahead and start to take my back, what I want to do is this right here. As he goes to insert his hooks, I want to lift his feet up. This is sort of like early defense. If he's able to get his feet in, that allows him to bring his chest up and begin to start controlling me. And so the early defense is to deny those hooks. And if I just lift these up, go ahead and try and take my back now, right? And he's going to have more mobility because he's younger. Imagine an adult, how difficult it's going to be to set up like that, right? So it's kind of silly, but just by lifting their feet up, if I react early, I can make it difficult for him to get effective control over me. So that's sort of early stage there. The next thing he's going to start doing is trying to get this kind of grip. And so I want to catch this hand and hopefully keep him from connecting his hands. And so if I can trap this here, it's going to be easier for me to start to react than it is once he gets it set in fully. But we're going to take a look at what happens when we get here and sort of in the deep waters of back take. Now, I always have to prioritize fighting the choke, and that doesn't mean I need to have both hands in here, although I normally start that way, right? And so the choking hand is going to be the one that's over the shoulder. He can't choke me with this hand. There are a few exceptions to that, but for simplicity's sake, the choking hand is the one that's on top. So I insert both, sort of a thumb here. I like to take an over grip on this one, and then if I can help it, I want to fall away from the choking hand. He's going to want to try and fall in the other direction, and so we're going to have that little bit of a battle. But I fall here to the side. At that point, that takes a lot of the pressure off of him being able to choke just all by itself. Whereas if I fall the other direction, that's pushing that arm deeper into the choke, which is making it harder to escape. So I fight the choke here. At that point, I can reach down with this other hand and I can begin to peel this hook off. Once I do that, my hips go to the sky, and I walk, 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 and I'm trying to get here. And I gotta be careful with Gibson because I'm so much bigger, but then I'm gonna bridge back into him, and I'm ultimately putting all of my weight on his chest, and then I'm gonna turn towards the hips, right? In this direction to come up on top. So let's go ahead and scoot way back over here. So again, if I see that my back's getting taken, I react early enough, I'm gonna grab the feet, okay? Maybe he gets those and he's trying to get this choking hand, I'm gonna try and deny that first. So these are early reactions. The next thing, I wanna fall away from the choking arm, not into it if I can help it. I'm gonna take an overhand grip here. I start with 2-on-1, but then I'm gonna reach down, I'm gonna clear this hook, walk my hips out, bridge onto him, and I can actually, when I get here, scoot back and push his arm further away from his body, which is gonna make it weaker. And then I'm gonna turn towards the hips and come up into top side control to escape that position. And so, in terms of back escapes, I think this is probably the best. It's difficult though. Somebody's on your back and you're in that deep of a situation. Getting out of that is going to be a challenge, right? So sort of the way we talked about, getting into side control and how difficult that can be to escape, that same rule applies here, right? Prevention is going to be your best friend more than getting really good at the escapes. But we'll stop there. From a back escape perspective right now, I think that's a good option, gives you a tool to work from, and then, in classes we can begin to add some additional options as time goes on, but hope that helps.